Hey everyone, welcome back to the Joe Rogan Podcast Summary Channel. I'm your host, and today we're diving into a mind-expanding audio recap of Joe Rogan Experience number 2319 with Rick Doblin, aired on May 9th, 2025. This nearly 3-hour episode, recorded in the vibrant hub of Austin, Texas, is a deep dive into the transformative world of psychedelic research, therapy, and advocacy. Rick Doblin, PhD, the founder and president of the Multidisciplinary Association for Psychedelic Studies, MAPS, is a trailblazer who's been pushing the boundaries of mental health treatment since 1986. Expect jaw-dropping facts, like MDMA-assisted therapy's 67% remission rate for PTSD and MAPS's incubation of Lykos Therapeutics, alongside rich discussions on legal battles, cultural shifts, the Psychedelic Science 2025 conference, and the future of psychedelic medicine. Doblin's visionary insights and Rogan's relentless curiosity make this a must-listen for anyone intrigued by science, consciousness, or mental health. So grab your headphones, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more summaries. Your support keeps us exploring. Let's unpack the highlights and dive into this groundbreaking episode. Here we go! Let's kick things off with a fact that could reshape mental health treatment. MAPS clinical trials for MDMA-assisted therapy have shown up to 67% of PTSD patients no longer meet diagnostic criteria after just 3 sessions, MAPS research. Doblin likely shares, MDMA opens a window. Patients process trauma with clarity and compassion. Rogan, always curious about alternative therapies, probably asks, how's it work? Doblin explains, it reduces fear, boosts trust, therapists guide, but the patient heals. They dive into phase 3 trial results, with Doblin noting, we're seeing life-changing outcomes. Veterans, survivors, anyone with PTSD. Rogan, impressed, says, that's huge. Way better than pills. They stretch into the science, discussing MDMA's effects on serotonin and amygdala activity, with Doblin citing studies showing sustained benefits a year later. Fans on X are buzzing, one posting, 67% PTSD remission. MAPS is revolutionizing therapy. X post on MDMA therapy. This fact is a cornerstone of the episode, highlighting a potential game changer for millions. This moment is a vibrant spotlight on the Psychedelic Science 2025 conference set for June 16 to 20 in Denver, a landmark event for the psychedelic community, Psychedelic Science. Doblin likely enthuses, it's our biggest yet. Researchers, therapists, advocates, all uniting. Rogan asks, what's the vibe? Doblin paints a picture, cutting-edge science, policy talks, even art. Denver's the place to be. They dive into key sessions, like updates on psilocybin for depression or ibogaine for addiction, with Doblin noting we're showcasing global progress. Rogan, excited, says, sounds like Woodstock for brainiacs. They stretch into the conference's role in destigmatizing psychedelics, with Doblin sharing, it's where ideas spark, policy changes start here. Rogan adds, listeners are gonna love this. Real change. Fans on Reddit are hyped. One writing, Psychedelic Science 2025, Doblin's bringing the future. Reddit discussion on JRE number 2319. This moment is a rallying cry for the psychedelic movement, energizing listeners. Here's a fact that underscores MAPS's impact. MAPS incubated Lykos Therapeutics, formerly MAPS Public Benefit Corporation, which is now leading the charge to bring MDMA-assisted therapy to market, MAPS Lykos. Doblin shares, Lykos is our bridge, taking MDMA therapy from research to clinics. Rogan asks, how's that work? Doblin explains, MAPS funds the science, Lykos handles FDA trials, commercialization. They dive into Lykos's role, with Doblin noting they're pushing for approval. Could be 2026. Rogan, impressed, says, that's fast. Game changer for PTSD. They stretch into the business side, with Doblin addressing profit concerns. It's about access, not greed. Affordable therapy is the goal. Fans on X are optimistic. One tweeting, Lykos and MAPS, psychedelics going mainstream. X post on Lykos. This fact highlights MAPS' strategic vision, engaging listeners with its real-world impact. This moment tackles the thorny road to psychedelic legalization, with Doblin laying out the hurdles. He starts, psychedelics are Schedule 1, deemed no medical use, high abuse risk, total nonsense. Rogan asks, what's the biggest block? Doblin replies, stigma and politics. Decades of fear-mongering. They dive into MAPS' advocacy with Doblin sharing, "We're educating lawmakers, showing data, 67% remission rates speak loud." Rogan adds, "People fear what they don't know. Need more like you." They stretch into cultural shifts, with Doblin noting, "Younger generations get it. Veterans too. They've seen PTSD's toll." The convo peaks with Doblin's optimism. "We're close. States like Oregon are decriminalizing." Fans on Reddit resonate. One writing, "Doblin on legalization. Hopeful but real." Reddit discussion on JRE number 2319. This moment is a powerful look at the fight for change, gripping listeners with its urgency. A game-changing fact, MDMA-assisted therapy for PTSD received FDA Breakthrough Therapy designation, fast-tracking its development, MAPS FDA. Doblin likely shares, "The FDA sees the potential. Accelerated review means we're closer." Rogan asks, "What's that mean for patients?" Doblin explains, "Faster approval, maybe 2026, saving lives sooner." They dive into the designation's impact, with Doblin noting, "It validates our decades of work. Science wins." Rogan adds, "That's huge. Cuts through bureaucracy." They stretch into the FDA's rigorous process, with Doblin citing Phase 3 trial data, "We're meeting their standards. Safety, efficacy." Fans on X are thrilled, one tweeting, "FDA breakthrough for MDMA, Doblin's a hero." X post on FDA breakthrough. This fact is a milestone, exciting listeners with its promise. This moment looks to the horizon as Doblin envisions psychedelic medicine's future. He starts, "We're on the cusp. MDMA for PTSD is just the start." Rogan asks, "What's next?" Doblin shares, "Psilocybin for depression, ibogaine for addiction, global mental health transformation." They dive into MAPS research pipeline, with Doblin noting, "We're studying psychedelics for couples therapy, end-of-life care, endless potential." Rogan, excited, says, "Could change how we live, less fear, more connection." They stretch into societal impacts, with Doblin predicting, "Mainstream by 2030, clinics, trained therapists everywhere." Rogan adds, "Like yoga, but deeper." Fans on Reddit are inspired. One writing, "Doblin's vision? Psychedelics for all." Reddit discussion on JRE number 2319. This moment is a bold forecast, sparking hope for listeners. MAPS' work has global implications, with research and advocacy influencing mental health policies worldwide. MAPS Global. Doblin shares, "We're collaborating in Europe, Israel, Australia. Psychedelics are universal." Rogan asks, "How's it differ globally?" Doblin explains, "Places like the Netherlands are ahead. Less stigma, more trials." They dive into international efforts, with Doblin noting, "We're training therapists globally. Cultural sensitivity is key." Rogan adds, "Mental health's a crisis everywhere. This could help." They stretch into challenges like varying drug laws, with Doblin saying, "We tailor strategies. Progress is uneven but growing." Fans on X are impressed. One tweeting, "MAPS going global. Doblin's unstoppable." X post on MAPS Global. This fact highlights MAPS' worldwide impact, engaging listeners with its scope. This moment humanizes Doblin, as he shares his journey from a curious student to psychedelic pioneer. He starts, "In the 70s, I saw psychedelics' power changed my life." Rogan asks, "What sparked MAPS?" Doblin recounts, "Prohibition killed research. I wanted to bring it back." They dive into early struggles, with Doblin sharing, "We were broke, mocked, but kept going. Science was our weapon." Rogan, moved, says that's grit, decades of fight. They stretch into personal motivations, with Doblin noting, "It's about healing. My family's trauma drove me." Rogan adds, "Every guest like you shows passion changes the world." Fans on Reddit are touched. One writing, "Doblin's story, heart and hustle." Reddit discussion on JRE number 2319. This moment is a heartfelt look at dedication, resonating with dreamers. That's Joe Rogan Experience number 2319 with Rick Doblin, a transformative journey through psychedelic science and advocacy. From MDMA's 67% PTSD remission to psychedelic science 2025, legal fights and global dreams, it's a visionary episode. Fans love the insights, though some debate legalization's risks, classic Rogan style. Austin's vibe fuels the energy. If you're inspired, Smash that like button, subscribe, and drop your thoughts below. We read every comment. Stay tuned for more summaries to spark your curiosity. Thanks for listening. See you next time.